Right now, one generation of Americans is sitting on about $85 trillion. That's half of every dollar in the country. And it isn't yours. And it isn't your parents'. It's your grandparents'. Boomers hold about $85 trillion, millennials 18, and all of Gen Z 6. But this isn't about hating grandpa. It's about stealing what still works from his playbook and replacing what doesn't. So let's rewind to 1975 and meet Grandpa Boom, 19 years old, no degree, no connections, and no plan. He walked out of high school on a Friday, and by Monday, a factory had hired him. No interview marathon, no entry-level, 5 years of experience required. He kept that one job for 40 years, and it came with something called a pension, meaning after he retired, the company just kept sending him money every month for life, for doing nothing. At 25, he bought a house, because back then, a house cost about 2.5 years of a normal salary. So you saved a little, signed some papers, and boom, homeowner. Look at this. In 1970, a typical house cost about 2.3 times a family's yearly income. Today, it's about 5 times, nearly double what experts call affordable. To be fair, it wasn't all free money. By 1981, mortgage rates hit 18%, but the house itself was cheap, and that changed everything. Because for the next 50 years, that cheap little house quietly grew in value while Grandpa did nothing but mow the lawn. That was the whole playbook. One steady job, a pension on autopilot, and a house doing the heavy lifting. A wealth escalator you just stood on. Now fast forward to today, where every step of that escalator is either broken, missing, or on fire. The pension? Nearly extinct. 38% of workers had one in 1980. Today it's about 15, replaced by a do-it-yourself box called a 401k, which roughly translates to, good luck, buddy. The affordable house? Gone too. The typical first-time buyer in America is now 40 years old, when Grandpa's generation was getting house keys in their late 20s. And college, the so-called golden ticket, tripled in price even after adjusting for inflation, which is how young Americans ended up owing $1.87 trillion in student loans. So the ladder broke, and when older folks saw your generation struggling, they found a genius explanation. You're broke because you eat too much avocado toast. That's a real thing. In 2017, a property millionaire went on TV and blamed young people for buying $19 smashed avocado instead of houses. So the New York Times did the math. Give up avocado toast forever, save every cent, and you'd have your house down payment ready in about 113 years. Here's the actual plot twist. Your generation is better with money than any before it. Boomers started investing at 35 on average, while Gen Z starts at 19. And that 16-year head start is your secret weapon, because the new playbook has 3 moves. And move 1 is something Grandpa never had to learn. Don't just earn money, own things. A stock is simply a tiny slice of a real company. You own the slice, the company grows, your slice grows with it, and now money works for you while you sleep. But betting everything on one single company is like betting on one horse. So smart beginners use something called an index fund. An index fund buys you a crumb of the 500 biggest companies in America all at once, like getting one slice from every pizza in the shop. So whichever pizza blows up, you already own a piece. Historically, that whole basket has returned about 10% a year on average. Some years down, some years up, but across the decades, relentlessly up. $100 a month for 30 years is $36,000 from your pocket, but it compounds into more than $200,000 because your money makes money and then that money makes more money. Move 2. Pick one skill and get scary good at it, because the phone in your pocket is the factory Grandpa commuted to. Editing, design, coding, selling. Over half of Gen Z already runs a side hustle on it. Move 3. Before you invest a single dollar, park 3 to 6 months of living costs in savings, so when life punches you, and it will, you're never forced to sell everything at the worst moment. And skip anything that smells like a lottery ticket, because get rich quick is how broke people stay broke. Slow and boring is literally the cheat code. So no, you can't run Grandpa's playbook. The escalator is gone, but Grandpa never had a stock market in his pocket, a global audience for his skills, or the chance to start at 19. His generation inherited a ladder. Yours has to build an elevator, and